Okay, so I told you a bit about those many different aspects of the brain and these thought patterns and things that influence you. But, the biggest question is how are you actually gonna deal with that? And dealing with that means taking responsibility for that. Saying yes to yourself and saying yes to working with yourself. And I like to describe this, as a kind of container, even like a rubbish bin, just a container with so many different stuff. Just our body and our system and the brain as this kind of container that you have to take care of, that you have to clean out, where you have to take away the rubbish. Or like a plant that you have to water, that you have to take care of, where you sometimes have like little insects on it or things that influence it in a bad way. So at that point where you actually realize you yourself are that thing you have to take care of the most, it's not your apartment that needs cleaning that's the most important thing, or the plants that you water, or your car that you take care of. Sure, they are also very important, but the most important thing is yourself. And what kind of hygiene and taking care of, what kind of maintenance you do to yourself, and in what ways do you take care of yourself. And there's this whole thing in spirituality about, this bubbly self-love and, things like that. And that's not going to work if you don't truly feel it. It doesn't matter how much you try to tell your brain that you love yourself and use, all of those different sentences that people use, the affirmations. It won't matter if you have such a deep programming in you which makes you think otherwise. So it's not just about like putting this kind of little band-aid on it and making it easier in that way. It's actually about digging deep and looking at the root of the issue, looking at that where the cause lies, and not trying to fix it on the top by saying something. So for me, I'm not a big fan of affirmations. Why? Because I believe that when you actually handle and deal with the root of what is causing all of those bad thoughts or negative emotions, then you will not need those affirmations, because you will actually handle and live from a space which creates those thoughts in you automatically. You will not need to tell yourself that you are beautiful, that you will achieve everything in life, because you will actually feel it. It will just come up, just like this very peaceful, natural kind of acceptance, awareness of yourself. Because the need for those affirmations comes just from the feeling of being unworthy, of not feeling the way that you want to be. So why focus on all of those affirmations and thoughts? And why not focus on the issues, on the root of that, what is causing it, and taking care of it? So I will always recommend to you to dig deeper and take responsibility for all the things in your life. And how to do that? Well, basically, go out and find what might be helpful to you. And there are just so many different offers currently on the market, so many different therapists and alternative methods and courses and retreats and things you can do for self-growth. So I just recommend to you to try the different things out and see what works for you. And to also just observe yourself and be present with everything that you do, with all the different things, with all the different ways you react. And in everyday life, I've already given you a lot of examples how that can look like. I will give you some more. For example, you can look at reactions you have to something a person says, or the reactions to have to a decision you have made or someone else has made that influences you. So, for example, you are choosing a place to go to dinner to, and then your partner decides, oh, I want to go there, and then you're feeling like, oh, I'm not actually that much into it, but I'm gonna go and agree, and you're not actually be happy with the choice. So, okay, what has made me decide on that? Is it because I don't want to argue with him? Is it because I actually don't care and it's fine? Is it because I just want to do that what is better for him and what I believe will be good for him? So, what is the thing? And then also, why am I not choosing to speak up for myself? Why am I choosing to go for his choice other than my choice? And then you can learn a lot about yourself. And this is just something like very little, right? Just choosing a place to eat, but it can be bigger things. It can be about choosing what to study, or choosing what to work in, or choosing, the place you want to go on a holiday to, choosing everything. It's all about choice. And then you can see, okay, out of what space do I make those choices? Do I make those choices out of a space of worry and fear or sadness? Or do I make those choices out of a space of love? Out of a space where I feel this is right for me, where it's aligned with myself. So as you take care of yourself and see yourself as this plant that constantly needs to be taken care of, you will learn how you work. You will learn your own patterns. And you might know what I'm talking about when you put that into perspective, when you actually think about your partner or your parents. You know how they tick, right? You know like what makes them go angry, you know what makes them go sad, you know like how they react to certain things, what they like, what they don't like. And the question is, do you know all of those things about yourself? Do you know how you react? What face happens? What masks you put on when you don't like something or when you like something? Do you know how you work yourself? You might be very good about noticing all of those things in other people, but how aware are you of all those different things yourself? And we all have like all of those different signs. Like some people have like a twitch in the eye, or the nose kind of scrunches up, or the mouth starts doing some things, or the eyes are just not aligned anymore. And you can actually just take a mirror and look at yourself as you think about certain things, or as you are triggered by something, and then you can notice and learn even more about yourself. So for me, working with the brain and with the mind is all about kind of growing and putting all of that in like a very scientific thing and learning just about yourself and putting all of that, classifying it, organizing it, just like seeing how do I work, because it's just kind of brainy, it's the mind, so yeah, just kind of brainy. And then when you know all of those aspects of yourself, you might then realize some voices and some aspects of yourself are there, and they make you do good choices. They make you go for those things that do you good. And there are others which might be sabotaging your life. So how do you learn which is which? They might sound different. They might feel different, those different things that influence you. And how do you realize that? Well, you can basically make it like an experiment and just kind of observe what happens. You can see, okay, so now I have those two different aspects going back and forth. One of them wants me to do this, the other wants me to do that. So, okay, let me go for this one. And you can even write it down. And let's see what happens. So you do it, and like 2 days later, or a week, or however much time you need, you reflect on that. Okay, so when I was making this choice, I went for this part of myself. And now this has happened because of that. How happy am I with the choice? How happy am I with the results? And then you do that a couple of times. You do that, when you have a choice, again, you have those two different parts. You this time go for the other one and see, okay, what was the result? What happened after that? And you can keep on doing that, keep on trying those two different paths and just seeing which one works best. Because it will bring a pattern at some point. At some point, you realize, okay, I've been listening to this voice and to this pattern for such a long time already, and I feel like it's not doing me any good. So now I know, let's try that other one because that has been bringing me a happy life. And then you can learn about yourself. And then you can slowly start to let go of that one part of yourself which is not doing you good. So I hope this brings you just a way for you to bring yourself into perspective and to learn to actually work with yourself and with all the different aspects of you. And this is all just about personal growth. And with all of that, with becoming more conscious, it will just bring upon many, many, many more layers of that which is still unconscious. Because as you peel off all of those different layers of the onion, which are on the top, which you are conscious of, suddenly more things will start to appear. Things which are deeper, things you might not even have remembered, things that are more traumatic, things that influence you more, things you thought you have dealt with, but no, they are still there. So all of this process would just continue, but on a deeper level, on a deeper scale. And there might also be moments where you realize, oh, I know this pattern, I recognize it, and I know it's there, but I know it's not doing me any good, so I'm not gonna put any energy into it. And that's amazing. Because you have realized, okay, it's there, but I'm not going to choose it because it's not right for me. I'm going to choose that which is good for me. And those thoughts might come up from time to time, just testing you if you are already strong enough, if you have broken that pattern in your life. And that's the moment where you know you have become independent of that. You have become conscious of that. You are letting it go. And that's beautiful at that stage where you feel freedom for it, where you are actually free from that which has been influencing you in the past unconsciously. So it's all about this path of becoming more and more conscious and following that what is good for you, following that what some people might call intuition or whatever you name it. Just the thing that makes you more aligned with yourself. So this has been already a very broad topic, but let's go deeper into many aspects. When you become aware of all the different parts of yourself, you might also realize that there are parts of yourself which you have been ignoring, parts which you feel like, okay, this is actually something I wanted to do for such a long time, but I never put it into something that's important. I've been going for all the different other things that were in my brain, but I actually want to do something else. And now you see, okay, this is the thing I want to do. How do I accomplish it? That's my goal. I'm going to go for that. And I want to manifest it. So how does that go? How does manifesting your dreams, desires, and goals go? It's actually easy. It's just about fully trusting the universe. And that in itself, it's something that is easy, right? But it's not, because we have all the different things that are stopping us from fully trusting ourselves and the world around us. So it's about, again, taking care of our own system and working with our own system to become more and more aligned with our dreams, with our goals, and manifesting them and living them and seeing them clearly. So, for example, you can do practices where you visualize those things, where you see them and where you live that life, when you just close your eyes and for a moment just ask yourself, what does the life look like that I really want to live? Where do I see myself when I really follow all my goals? How does my home look like? Where do I live? Do I have family, friends around me? How does my workspace look like? What sort of work do I do? How does my life look like? What sort of things are important to me? What are the emotions I feel when I see it? How does it feel to be in this reality? How does it feel to be in this dream? What are the emotions that come up when I think about it? How does my body feel? So this is a small exercise which you can do to just really drop into your dream. Just going on this journey with your imagination, landing in that future reality in your life. Where do I want to live? What do I want to do? How does my life look like? And most importantly, how does it feel? Because manifesting is going to be more about the emotions and the state you are in, not that much about all the different small facts. You know, it's probably not going to be about the color your living room is in. It's going to be about how does the space you live in make you feel? Do you want to feel happiness, peace, love, serenity? Do you want to achieve things, be looked up to, have a lot of money? What are the different things? And how do they make you feel? How does having a lot of money make you feel? Does it give you security, make you feel like you can do anything you want? And why is it so important to you? Maybe because you need freedom. Maybe because you need independence. Maybe because you want to do good things for the world and need the money for that. So just analyze what is there. Look at your dreams, but not just into that aspect of it, which just live and the physical form it has, but just about the emotional part and the part where you feel into your body. How does it feel like for my body? Am I relaxed when I feel about it and when I think about it? Am I happy? What is going on inside of me? And then you can focus on that dream, on those emotions, and reaching that state. And with time, you might realize, oh, I'm already feeling that. which I want to feel when I reach my goals. And those goals at the end might look different than what you have thought, but the emotions will stay the same. Because you are going to be feeling fully happy, and it might be in this reality or on this one. Some things just might not come as you have expected them to. So it's going to be very much about that emotional state that you can reach. That state and the energy you will be in. But you can also definitely create that reality you want and have it exactly as you want it to be. Truly seeing that place. And what works good for that is doing like vision boards and mapping all of that out. There's a thing which is called desire mapping. And then you can basically just take a lot of pictures and or paint it or even use words to describe it. Take things from the internet and print it out and just putting all of that together, where you want to live, what you want to do, how does your life look like, just basically creating your dream on paper. And that's just a way for you to help with this manifestation process, working towards your dream. Because you are only going to be able to reach your dream if you actually know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then you're just gonna go through life like going through different things and having something which you feel like you love, but are you really satisfied with that? Maybe it's something there out there that you want. What are your goals? And you want to realize those. There's nothing bad in realizing what you actually want and going for that. That's why a lot of people achieve so many things, even if they're not, that conscious and spiritual, more like businessmen and people like that. They achieve a lot of things because they are set on a goal. And they have that power of manifestation in them because they are goal oriented. And we spiritual people, we tend to be like very emotional oriented and looking that everything is aligned and just everything is well rounded in all the different aspects of our life, in our private life, work life, family, that everything is just good, that our emotional state is good, that we are well taken care of. And sometimes we get so lost in that we forget about all the different goals, that we just go with the flow. And there's nothing bad with that, going with the flow. But with that, with trusting the universe, you can still have your goals. You want to give the universe and yourself a direction to head to. Because there is a saying that where the focus is, the energy goes. So if you focus on something that you want to reach, the universe will basically align to create that path for you, because the universe is not going to stand in your way. It might seem like it does, like if you have something which happens along the way, an accident or something which stops your goal, it's not there to destroy your path and your goal and your future. It's there for you to learn from it, from you to grow from it, for you to maybe overcome that thing, for you to reflect on that. Because the goal you have set for yourself might not actually be true. It might just be some ego thing, but it might not come deep out of your soul. So those many steps on your path, which might not seem like the thing that is perfect, are going to be there for you to become more conscious, to become better at listening to yourself, at overcoming many different issues, and just about growing. So find your goals and learn how to work through all of those, reaching your goals, manifesting them into your life, and still going with the flow, going with what the universe brings you, but still using your brain, setting the goals and seeing all the different things that you can do to achieve that. giving direction to your life.